Your mind just did it again. You woke up thinking about one small mistake, and now 3 hours later you're convinced your entire life is falling apart. Your relationship is failing. Your career is over. Everything is ruined. This is catastrophizing, and it's running your life without you even knowing it. But here's what most people don't realize. There's a biblical habit so simple, so effective, that it literally rewires how your brain processes threats. Not someday, not after months of meditation, but starting today. And in the next 8 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. Let's start with what's actually happening in your brain. When you catastrophize, you're not being dramatic or weak. You're experiencing a glitch in an ancient survival system. Your brain is designed to anticipate danger. It's kept humans alive for thousands of years. But in the modern world, this system is overactive. A small social awkwardness gets interpreted as total social rejection. A missed deadline becomes proof of professional incompetence. One bad day becomes evidence that your entire life is broken. The cycle looks like this: trigger, thought, catastrophe, panic, repeat. And the worst part, the more you catastrophize, the more real it feels. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a real threat and an imagined one. It triggers the same anxiety response. Your cortisol rises. Your nervous system locks into fight or flight mode. And now you're not just thinking catastrophic thoughts, you are embodying them. Most people try to fight this by thinking positive thoughts. Just replace the catastrophe with something good, but that doesn't work. You can't outthink an emotion that's already rooted in your nervous system. That's why the biblical approach is different. There's a verse in Philippians that most people read too quickly. It says this: "When anxious thoughts come, take every thought captive." Take every thought captive. Not fight it, not replace it, capture it. The original Greek word used here is Aichmalotizo. It literally means to make a prisoner of war, to arrest, to stop a thought mid-movement and examine it before it spirals further. This is the habit. Here's how it works, and it's so practical you can do it right now. The moment you notice catastrophizing starting again, this is key. You have to notice it. You interrupt the pattern. You don't try to convince yourself the catastrophe won't happen. You don't think positive thoughts. Instead, you name the thought itself. Say it out loud if you can. If you can't, say it internally. But be specific, not "I'm being anxious," but "I'm having the thought that I'm going to lose my job and my life will be over." That's it. That's the capture. What just happened? Your brain shifted from the limbic system, emotional, reactive part, to the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part. By naming the thought, you created distance between you and it. You're no longer the thought. You're the observer of the thought. Suddenly, the thought has less power. But there's a second step that most people skip, and it's where the real transformation happens. After you capture the thought, you ask yourself one question: is this thought true right now? It's not "could this happen," but is it happening right now in this moment? If you're sitting at your desk and you're catastrophizing that you're going to lose your job, the answer is no. It's not happening right now. You're safe. Your job still exists. This moment is okay. This is powerful because it forces your brain back into present-time awareness. Catastrophizing always exists in the future. It requires your mind to project forward into scenarios that may never happen. By asking, "Is this true right now?" you snap yourself back to reality, and reality is almost always okay. Let me give you a real example because this needs to land. Sarah wakes up to a text from her boss saying, "Call me when you get to the office." Immediately, catastrophizing kicks in. She's getting fired. The company hates her. She's about to lose everything. By the time she arrives at work, her anxiety is through the roof. But if Sarah uses this habit, she captures the thought and names it. "I'm having the thought that I'm getting fired," her nervous system immediately settles slightly. Then she asks, "Is this true right now?" No, she's not fired right now. Her boss might have just wanted to discuss a project, or give her a compliment, or ask about her availability for a meeting. By keeping her mind in the present moment, Sarah just saved herself 3 hours of unnecessary suffering. And when her boss actually gives her the news, which was good news, by the way, she's present enough to actually receive it instead of being locked in an anxiety response. Now there's something else that happens when you practice this habit consistently. You start to notice a pattern. Your catastrophizing thoughts always follow the same script. You catastrophize about relationships the same way, about work the same way, about health the same way. Once you see the pattern, you can anticipate it. The next time that particular trigger shows up, you don't have to wait for the catastrophe spiral to fully develop. You can catch it at the moment it starts. Oh, here's that thought again. It's not true right now. With repetition, this becomes automatic. Your brain learns a new default. Instead of spiraling into catastrophe, you develop what researchers call metacognitive awareness, the ability to observe your own thoughts without being controlled by them. This is what the Bible means by taking thoughts captive. It's not about suppression, it's about sovereignty. You become the authority over your own mind again. Here's what changes when you commit to this. Your anxiety doesn't disappear overnight, but your relationship to it transforms. You stop being at the mercy of your catastrophizing mind. You stop spending your entire day in an imagined future that hasn't happened and probably won't. You get your present moment back. You get present with your family. Present with your work, present with your life. Because your mind is finally here, not spinning in 1,000 catastrophic possibilities. The research backs this up. Cognitive behavioral therapy, which uses this exact technique, shows measurable decreases in anxiety within weeks when people practice consistently. So here's what you do starting today. First, commit to noticing when catastrophizing starts. You can't capture a thought you don't see. Set a reminder on your phone if you need to, just get in the habit of catching it. Second, name the specific thought, be detailed, make it a statement, say it out loud. Third, ask, is this true right now? 4, breathe, remind yourself that this moment is safe. That's the entire practice. It sounds simple because it is. But simple doesn't mean easy. It requires awareness. It requires practice. Most people will try this once and expect their anxiety to disappear forever. That's not how it works. But if you practice this for 2 weeks, just 2 weeks of consistently capturing catastrophic thoughts and questioning them, you'll notice something shift. The spirals won't grip you as hard, the panic won't rise as fast. Your mind will develop a new default response. And that's the beginning of freedom. The biblical writers understood something about the human mind that modern anxiety culture is just now rediscovering. Your thoughts are not facts. They're not commands, they're just thoughts. And you have the power to observe them, question them, and ultimately to choose whether they run your life. That power is already in you. You just have to practice using it.